Revealed all the way back in 2019, and after numerous delays, LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is finally almost here. The game has always looked good, but with a number of all-new features and mechanical overhauls, fans are understandably curious about how it will actually play. Thankfully, you have nothing to worry about. After attending a virtual preview event and getting about an hour and a half of solid hands-on time with the game myself, my hype has only increased. I'm Jordan Mason with Cinelinx, and these are my early impressions on the new LEGO Star Wars game. Warner Brothers and TT Games were kind enough to invite me along for some LEGO Star Wars gaming action the other week. While I was already excited for the game, I was very eager to see how the new stuff actually felt. Thankfully, there was no time wasted in getting right to the action. Now, as been mentioned before, when you fire up the game on April 5th, you'll be able to start with any trilogy you want. Each movie gets its own little hub indicated by these nifty looking dioramas. Now, it's a small thing, really, but it shows the care and intention that they put into every single aspect of these games, and it's just kind of neat to see. Now, the game doesn't really limit you and encourages you to play how you want. In fact, that's pretty much the driving theme behind all the decisions made within the game. The developers want you to experiment and explore locations the way you want to. Sure, some of those options are, limited to just a couple of choices, but it's still impressive how much freedom you feel like you have as opposed to previous games. My gameplay demo was limited only to episode 4. But even from that opening level, the freedom that I'm talking about is well on display. You kick things off as Princess Leia and Captain Antilles as they're navigating the Tantive 4 as it's captured and being boarded by the Imperials. Now, considering this entire section plays within the confines of a ship, you'd think your options would be more limited. But that's not the case. Your path around the vessel is still largely up to you, thanks to the massive overhaul of the visuals, where everything is built brick by brick, just like it would be in the real world. This level manages to feel massive. Like, honestly, I think I could get lost in the ship at some point. There's just so much to see and explore, even within this first level, and it's something that the game really wants you to do, is explore every inch. Despite many of the big overhauls to the systems, a lot of the core elements fans have come to expect from LEGO Star Wars games are still here. The true Jedi meter makes a return, but it brings in a new twist. This time around, the true Jedi meter is broken up into 3 different sections. You'll need to fill out all of them to claim the title, but you can get nifty bonuses this time even if you don't. Namely, this is one of the big ways that you're going to be acquiring Kyber Bricks. Now, this is a new addition to the Skywalker Saga and serves as a crucial component to the game's surprisingly robust upgrade system. These upgrades is yet another new addition to the gameplay here, and you can purchase them via the menu, and it works essentially like any other traditional skill tree in other games. There are basic upgrades that can affect all of your characters, like this nifty speed boost that makes you walk faster, but there are also character class specific upgrades. It may seem like a very basic addition for gamers familiar with any other action-adventure games, but it goes a long way towards making this LEGO Star Wars title feel bigger than ever before. Pretty much everything in this game can be described similarly. It has all the classic LEGO game feel to it, but with a new spin that deepens the gameplay. Hell, just look at the new camera system they have. It's much tighter in order to make it feel and play like a traditional third-person action title. Easily one of the biggest changes to the game is combat. The system has been completely overhauled for the Skywalker Saga. There's a whole new combo feature involved that allows you to vary up and change your attack pattern rather than the older games where you just mash the same button over and over again. This is super important because even basic enemies have the ability to block your attacks now, making variety essential to every encounter. But even the shooting has been changed up. You can still simply pull the trigger and let the auto-aim do its magic, which is great for younger players. You're also able to be more precise with your aiming. The game pulls you into a tighter, over-the-shoulder perspective as you aim, letting you hit specific targets. Now, while this isn't anything new generally to gaming, it's really cool to see it come into a LEGO game. You're able to shoot off stormtrooper helmets, letting you get in a more powerful headshot to end the encounter. You can even hit them in other parts of the body and see how they react. I think what impressed me most about all of these changes is just how natural it feels. Like, it still feels like I'm playing a LEGO game, complete with all the humor, background gags that you would expect, but it feels like the best, most refined version of the LEGO games we all love. The result is an intuitive experience that's easy to pick up and play while still feeling new all at the same time. I greatly enjoyed the open world elements of the game and how they seamlessly blend into the overall story. Between missions, you're pretty much free to explore the open landscape for whichever planet you're on. Here on Tatooine, that means exploring Luke's home, the Judlin Wastes, Mos Eisley, and exploration is made all the easier thanks to the abundance of vehicles and mounts you can hop onto. Seriously, they're just lying about. So hop on a speeder, a swoop, even a Ronto, and go wherever you want. Some of the NPCs you encounter will open up side missions as well in these open areas, or they may offer up clues to find hidden Kyber Bricks. Sadly, my time with the game couldn't cover all the new stuff, like the revamps to space combat. TT Games did offer a look at some of those changes in a hands-off preview we got to see, and based off what I saw, I'm super impressed. Starships are taken completely off the rails this time. You have full flight controls that look reminiscent of the Rogue Squadron games, or even the newer Chorus game that I recently finished up not too long ago. Things are as wide open above the planets as they are on the surface, as you won't just be dealing with battles in space. There are Kyber comets you can blow up, but there are also Starship NPCs floating around who can provide side missions in the form of smuggling runs. Seriously, there's just a lot going on in the Skywalker Saga, and I feel like I've barely touched on all the neat things I noticed in just my short time with the game. Even something as simple as the changes to how droids interact and work this time around makes for a more immersive experience. For example, there are a number of characters you can encounter who speak a different language, and you'll need C-3PO's translation abilities to even talk to them. It's a small thing, but again, speaks to the level of detail put into this game. And that's not to mention how gorgeous it looks. I mean, just look at it. The level of detail is incredible. It's hard to tell through my screen footage here, but there's also dynamic weathering all throughout the game. Like here on Tatooine, your characters visibly accumulate sand on their clothing and bodies the longer you're outside. It's crazy. All in all, I came away from my time with the game ridiculously impressed and anxious for more. Between the refined mechanics, the impressive visuals, LEGO's trademark sense of humor, and how they've managed to blend the story together into something familiar yet fresh, LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga feels like everything fans have been wanting and waiting for. It's got something gamers of all levels can enjoy, and something I see longtime Star Wars fans, and even newcomers, getting sucked into. LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga arrives on April 5th. We have more details on the game below, including links to our previous coverage of the game. I hope you enjoyed our quick dive into this title, and if you did, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and tell all your friends about it. Until next time, keep it tuned to Cinelinx.com for all your movie, gaming, and geek-related needs.